Well, good day and welcome back to all of our friends, family, and following Digi Millionaires. In this training today, we are going to set up your MyEtherWallet. We're going to set up your MyEtherWallet. We do a lot of our mental vacation breaks from scenic places that are warm and pleasant and what have you, and I'm not a fan of the cold, but some of you are. So I thought today we'd go to Alberta, Canada, and give you a little taste of winter there. Brought to you by Expedia. Okay, so we're going to show you how to set up your MyEtherWallet. And the first thing I want to do is just share with you why you want to have a MyEtherWallet account. And you can have as many of these as you would like. Many of you, if you haven't already done so, are going to start participating in some ICOs, initial coin offerings. And a lot, not all, but a good amount of the ICOs that come out these days are built on the Ethereum platform. And if you, let's say, participated in an ICO that was built on the Ethereum platform, in most cases, you would be sent your ERC20 tokens. Well, what the heck is an ERC20 token? Well, ERC stands for Ethereum Request for Comments. And this is an official protocol for proposing improvements to the Ethereum network. And the 20 part is a unique unique proposal ID number. Now, the difference between these tokens, these ERC20 tokens, and let's say a standalone currency like Litecoin, is that ERC20 tokens piggyback on the Ethereum network, and they're hosted by Ethereum addresses, and sent by Ethereum transactions. So if you want to participate in ICOs, or perhaps you are trading in a number of exchanges like Binance or like Poloniex or what have you, Bittrex, so on and so forth. Maybe you are trading some assets that are ERC20 tokens, and you want to now take those assets and take them out of an exchange as an example. Well, you can send them over to MyEtherWallet. Okay? All right. Now, one of the main differences with MyEtherWallet is you are going to have what are called the private keys, meaning no one else will have these keys. You don't want to share these keys with anyone. Not even MyEtherWallet has these keys. All right. It's a very simple setup process to set up MyEtherWallet. So let's go on and do so. So we're going to head over to MyEtherWallet.com. Now, this is going to be very, very, very important. I'm going to be using my whiteboard quite a bit here as we take you through this. All right, so there is the URL for MyEtherWallet.com. Now, I want you to please make note because there are a lot of sharks in these there waters. All right, there are a lot of bad guys and bad guyettes that set up what are referred to as phishing sites. And so, for instance, you may have a site, let's say if you were just typing it in, and what MyEtherWallet suggests that you do is that you bookmark the site. So you can see here, I'm using Opera as my as my browser, and you can see the little heart here because I have bookmarked her. So you really want to bookmark this site. This is what phishing is. Let's say, for instance, let's say you were in a hurry and you put in something like this, www.myether, and you forgot the R, wallet.com. Well, this might take you to a site that looks just like MyEtherWallet, but it could be a bad guy who set up something like this. All right, and then when you go in to put in your very important, very private information, they're capturing it. Or maybe it's something like MyEtherWallet with one L. All right, if you were typing that in and you just made that mistake, all right, that could take you to a phishing site. So you want to make sure that you are on https://www.myetherwallet.com. Once you're there and you know you're there, you're going to want to bookmark that site. And instead of now typing it in when you go, just refer to your bookmarked site. Okay? All right, so now, I don't want to get out of here. All right, so now we are there, and I want you to notice in the toolbar here that you'll see the little security symbol, all right, and you'll see where it says MyEtherWallet LLC, and then in brackets US. So it should say that when you go to https://www.myetherwallet2ls.com. Okay, so now what we're going to do right now is we're going to set up a MyEtherWallet account. Now, when you go here for the first time, you may have some tutorials. And if you have a tutorial, there was a written tutorial, go through those tutorials, all right? Even if it takes a little time reading, because I want you to understand that when you're dealing with Ethereum, you're dealing with ERC20 tokens, if you are housing some of those in MyEtherWallet, this is a bank. This is like having your Ethereum and or ERC20 token bank. Now, I'm not suggesting you keep all of your Ethereum-based assets here, but the point is you want to safeguard what you're doing. Okay, so now I am under where it says new wallet. So we're going to set up a new wallet, okay? So we're going to put in a password. So you want to make sure that you're putting in a very strong password. Preferably you're using some symbols, you're using some capital letters as well as some lowercase letters and some numbers and what have you. But you just want to make sure that you use a very good password, and you want to make sure it's a password that you're not using for your email address. That way, heaven forbid, if someone gets a hold of your email address password and then they try to see if they can get into your MyEtherWallet, it's not the same password. Okay, so be very careful with your password. So give me just a moment here. All right, so I've put in a password, and now I'm simply going to click where it says Create New Wallet. Left click. All right, now it's going to say Save Your Key Store file, and your Key Store file is a way that you can get back into MyEtherWallet. There are a number of ways that you can get into MyEtherWallet. So if you save this, matter of fact, we'll just left click here and you'll see it says my download is complete. And so I'm going to click here. All right, so here's my key store file here. All right, and so I can copy that and then put that wherever I want to put that. Okay, just make sure that if you are, I don't recommend that you save it to your computer. What I strongly recommend that you use with anything dealing with Digi is use an external hard drive. And if you're going to save something, save it to the external hard drive and then unplug it once you have finished saving. If you save it on your computer, you know, it's easy. If you get if you get some type of malware, some bad guy is able to get into your computer. You get a virus and you need to take it in to, let's say, Best Buy, to Geek Squad or what have you. You don't want to have that stuff on your computer. So I strongly recommend that as a part of your Digi business, you invest in a good and maybe even a couple external hard drives, and every now and then do not save this kind of stuff to the cloud. Okay? Do not save this kind of stuff to the cloud. All right? So you can use the key store file, which we have there, and then I'm going to click I understand, continue. All right? And now, this is key. This is going to give you your private key. Now, what I'm about to do, I'm only doing for training purposes, all right, to show you how to set things up and how to get back into the system. Do not do what I'm doing, okay? So what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to post this to my whiteboard. This is the private key. This right here is the lock to the combination. This is the combination to the vault, all right? You never want to give this out to anyone. Be careful. If any system is asking you for private keys, that is likely a scam, okay? Do not give this out. Now, what you're going to want to do is, now you can print it out, and if you print it out, it would be good to make a couple of copies, multiple copies, maybe keep one in your home office. And again, as a part of your Digi business, go on and invest. It won't be that much in a safety deposit box, maybe at your local bank or what have you. Okay. Now, I'm going to use this to get back into the system. All right. And then you can also print your paper wallet here, which I would strongly recommend that you do. And what this is doing, and I'm not going to use this for anything other than training, because I've already shown my private key. So I certainly wouldn't want to use this. So you print this out, and what this is going to do is this is going to give you your Ethereum address for your MyEtherWallet, and it's going to also give you your private key. So that's what you'd want to print out. Make a few copies of that. Excuse me for coughing in your ear. Keep one in your home office. Yeah, you know, I would have you to have a binder, have a Digi binder that you keep in your home office, you know, where you're putting things like this offline. And then I would also duplicate that and keep that in a safety deposit box. Now, this may seem like a lot, but again, we're talking about the potential of you becoming a Digi millionaire, and you want to make sure that you've got the keys to your Digi kingdom, okay, and no one else. All right, so let's go back, okay, and we're going to tell the system that we've saved the address. All right, so now we've set up the wallet. We have set up the wallet, okay? Now that you set up the wallet, how do you get into the wallet to do things? Well, now you're going to go to where it says send Ether and tokens. Ether being the token for Ethereum. Okay, send Ether and tokens, and it's going to say how would you like to access your wallet. Now I'm going to tell you that ultimately you want to have a hard wallet solution like Ledger Wallet or like Trezor, all right, or Trezor, however you would say that. Okay. That's going to be your best bet, where you have what's called, these are referred to as hard wallets, where you're storing your assets offline. Trezor, for instance, you can store Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and ERC. I want to say it may be all of your ERC tokens that you can store with Trezor. All right. However, since I know that a lot of you are brand new to this space and you may not have those hard wallets yet, I'm going to show you how to get into your system. Okay, so there's a couple things that you can do if you don't have Ledger Wallet or Trezor. All right, and again, you're still at MyEtherWallet. All right, https://myetherwallet.com. You see that we're at the right place. All right. We went under send Ether and tokens. That then says, how would you like to access your wallet? We could do the key store file. All right. We could do that. And remember, I just downloaded that. And so it would be easy for me to bring that back up. We could do the private key. Now, they're going to say this is not recommended. All right. They're going to say this is not recommended. I'm showing you the easiest way to get started, not necessarily the safest way. The safest way is going to be with Ledger Wallet or with Trezor. Okay. Until you have those, then this will at least get you started. Okay. I'm going to use the private key. I'm going to use the private key. And once again, they're going to say pasting your private key is not recommended. entering your private keys on a website. It's dangerous if your website is compromised or you accidentally visit a different address. That's, see what I was talking about? You've got to be careful when you're going to the site that you're not on a phishing site, because if I put my private key in a site that looks like my MyEtherWallet, but it's not MyEtherWallet, not my MyEtherWallet, then I've just given them the keys to my kingdom. I've just given them the keys to my vault. Okay. For the purposes of this, I'm just going to take this right here. Here was the private key. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to click unlock. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are now inside of my MyEtherWallet. Now, to the right would be your MyEtherWallet address. So if you were sending ETH here, maybe you have bought some ETH in one of the exchanges, or you've got some sitting in Exodus or what have you, and you want to store it in my MyEtherWallet, then this would be your address. And the great thing about Ethereum is that typically the processing times are much faster in most cases than Bitcoin. Okay. All right. So here would be your address. Now, let's say you already had some ETH here. And of course, it says account balance 0, so we don't have any ETH here. But if we had some ETH here and we wanted to send that ETH. So let's say you want to participate in an ICO and they require ETH, and you've got, let's say you've got 1 ETH here. Well, all you would need to do is to get the address of where you are sending it to. All right. Paste that address here. All right. And then right here it says ETH, but there's a drop down menu. Now this will come into handy later on. We've for instance, let's say that you had some ETH tokens. All right. You had some ETH tokens or some Ethereum based tokens, ERC20 tokens, and you wanted to send those tokens. So here's a ERC20 token BGG. If I wanted to send the BGG somewhere, maybe let's say if they were trading on an exchange and I wanted to send it to an exchange, then I would put right here and I would be sending the BGG versus the ETH, or I'd be sending the ADS, the ads, as opposed to the ETH. All right, we'll get more into that as we are starting to bring in some assets into my MyEtherWallet. All right, you're going to have a gas limit. Well, what is gas? Gas is what powers the ability to send ETH or ERC20 based tokens. Just leave it at the 21,000. There will be times that you'll be sending to a particular place and it will tell you the minimum gas limit that you should be using. And basically gas is what powers sending Ethereum. This is where you get little small Ethereum fees, but the fees on Ethereum are very, very small as a percentage of the actual transaction. Extremely, extremely small. So I just keep this at 21,000. Now up here where it says gas price, I like to always have, and yours may start off at something like in the middle. You see this little box here. I just like to put mine all the way to the end here. All right. So this is essentially going to allow our transactions to get where we're wanting it to get quicker. Okay. Now, one of the things you also want to be aware of is that whenever you click around, let's say, for instance, I click the gas, or if I were to click on where it said swap or click on where it said send offline, so on and so forth, guess what? It takes me out of the system. That is a security measure. All right. So at this point, if I want to go back into the system, I need to come up here where it says send ether and tokens, left click. I'm using the private key for simplicity and for the purposes of this example. There's my private key right there. I click unlock. And now I'm back into the system. Okay. All right. So I've got no ETH here. We'll do some other recordings where we'll go in. We won't show our private keys, and we'll show you how to send ETH and all that good stuff. All right, and we'll also do some other recordings where we come and we show you tokens. So these are ERC20 tokens here. All right, and you can see there's a bunch of these tokens out there. A bunch of these tokens out here. So if for instance, let's say you had the ARC token, all right, you would simply left click here to load, and if you had some ARC, it would show. Okay, obviously we don't have any tokens in this system. So you see how simple it was to set up MyEtherWallet. If you were wanting to bring some Ether or an Ethereum-based token into MyEtherWallet, this would be the Ethereum address. Now, if you're actually sending in a specific token, okay, if you're sending in a specific token, you're going to need to make sure that that token is showing in this token column. So there's one particular project that we're working on where folks are going to be able to send in their token. What we'll do is we'll show you how to add a custom token so that token is showing up in your MyEtherWallet before you send the token. We want to make sure that that token is set up. It's very simple to do. All right, we'll show you that in another training. We want to make sure that token is set up before you send in those tokens into MyEtherWallet. Okay? All right, so I think that'll do it for now. We'll have some more trainings on MyEtherWallet, and you'll see those. If you don't see those now, they'll be popping up soon. Love each and every one of you. Let's change the world together, starting with yours. Let's get you to Digi. My gosh! Millionaire status.